वितां तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती इति नामिने श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्री रूपानुग भक्तिद श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्री मूर्तये दिनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुद्धाप सिद्धांत ध्वंतहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बरशाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्तुं निर्दिष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथायते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महवदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः नित्यानन्दमहं वन्दे कर्णेलम्बितकुण्डलं चैतन्याग्राजरूपेण पवित्रीकृतभूतलं नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः उग्रं वीरमहाविष्णुं ज्वालान्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युं नमाम्यहम् पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारभक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते जयतां सुरतौ पंगुर मम मंदमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदां भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्य वृंदारण्यकल्पद्रुमाद श्रीमद् रत्नगार्ह सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवौ पृष्ठालिविषेभ्य मनोस्मरामि श्रीमन् रासरसारम्भे वंशीवट तटस्थित कर्षण वेणुर्षुनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So we were discussing on the different level of devotional service on mood or in the level how we offer. Although being a devotional service, although a service offered to Krishna, it's different categories of the devotee who is offering the devotional service. Obviously, this bhakti, it's always same, but influenced by the person who is offering that service, who is doing devotion, it's categorized into 4 different levels. And we discussed about 3 different levels, how people are in which level, how they are, how a person in mood of ignorance is acting, how a person in mood of passion is acting, how a person in mood of goodness is acting, and what sort of desires they are having in their heart, what they actually want to achieve. It depends. Some people, they are doing bhajan out of envy. Some people, they are offering service out of ego. Some people trying to do something because they want to show to somebody, they want to show off. Nowadays we can see that with this our generation kirtaniyas, we can see that more than pleasing Krishna, they have, I don't know, it's some problem with this.
I'm not good with that stuff, but I know you want to hire.
Okay. Okay. We can see that nowadays. It's more than to please Krishna. Kirtan is, people are more into pleasing the people, the audience there. They want, it's not that, but they glorifying Krishna with the kirtan, but with the kirtan they want their glorification. Singing, so people should say, how nice you sing, wow, what a great singer you are. So we can see that nowadays. I was in Mayapur Kirtan Mela, and one senior sannyasi coming out from that Kirtan party where Kirtan is going on, he's coming out from there saying, what these people think nowadays Kirtan is. I went inside, neither they have any devotion in their heart, nor they have respect to anyone. They're just sitting there and making concert there. So that dissatisfaction and the feeling he had can be seen in his face. And I was just thinking, now by offending the senior sannyasis like them, what they think they're going to achieve, you know. So basically, although it's singing Srinam, singing Mahamantra, it's obviously a devotional service, but sometimes based on the mood and based on their quality which they possess in their heart, and based on the mode of nature, what they're functioning on, although being a devotional service, it can be categorized. So that's basically what we discussed previous day. And now this among this tamas and this rajas and sattvika bhakti, and in sattvika bhakti still there is desire, but the person who is in sattvika level of devotion, or who is doing bhakti in sattvika level, in mode of goodness, for them it's easier to attend nirgunatmika bhakti, the selfless bhakti. Because till the time we are in sattvika sthara, in mode of goodness, still we have some selfish desire inside, we don't want suffering. So whatever we're doing, it's going around the same thing. I don't want all this suffering, I want to get liberated, so please give me mukti. So basically that's the prayer always. So there is some selfish motivation inside, because I need mukti, that's for me. It's not for Krishna, he wants mukti. It's for me. So that's my desire. Sometimes people ask, even to pray that Nadhanam Nadhanam Sundarim Kavitam Jagadesha Kamay Mama Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavatad Bhakti Haituki Tui. That's also a desire. Yes, that's desire, but that's not desire for your own self. That's desire for serving Krishna. But mukti is for oneself. No? If we have desire for mukti, that's for us. We want mukti. I want mukti. I want to get liberated. But if we say, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Haituki Tui, life after life, just give me the devotion and love towards you, so I can always serve. So although there is I and desire both present there, but it's not for me. I want to serve you always. That means in our focus, Krishna is there. We are focusing on His service. Although we are desiring something, but that desire is not going to wound us with any prarabdha, because we're desiring for Him. I want to cook good for Krishna, so that's basically, I want to cook good only is a desire which is going to wound us in this material nature, and just adding for Krishna in the last is, so just adding for Krishna in the last is going to free us from all material bondage. So, although being a desire, so sometimes they say it's also a desire, you want to get that ahituki bhakti without any hetu, without any desire you want to have, offer, you want to render service to Krishna. So that is also basically a type of desire you have, yes, but that's not for me. That desire to serve Krishna. But if we have desire, even though for mukti, it's my personal desire. I want to get liberated because I don't want suffering of this world. What Krishna wants, that doesn't matter to me, but for me, I don't want any of the sufferings of this material world. If Krishna wants you to get birth again and again, then we should prepare for that. What do you think that all our acharyas, they came in this material world out of their prarabdha or what? It was Krishna's desire to come here and preach, so they came. They took that thankless task. It's not that they were suffering because of their prarabdha and they have to go through all those pains, being 9 months in the womb of a mother and getting birth, after that going through this all educational system, everything. And then finally someday it just clicked on their mind, oh, actually I should preach around, and they started preaching. It's not like that. And Krishna wanted them to be here and preach around, so they came. It doesn't matter for them to come here birth after birth. So it's not their desire, it's Krishna's desire. Neither their prarabdha nor their desire. It's Krishna's desire. So whatever Krishna wants is their desire. Whatever Krishna says is their desire. It's one story. This story, Ram Sukdas Maharaj used to tell this story, that what mood of us should be, and it's quite funny actually. And there was a sadhu who was pakka Ram Bhakta, on this no if and but in his devotion. He knows only one thing in this world, that's Sri Ram. So he was in Kaveri, crossing the Kaveri river in the boat, and suddenly there was a flood in the river, and it started washing the boat, and boat hit with some stone and got a small hole on that. So water coming inside, and there are hundreds of people sitting in that boat, and now water coming inside and it's drowning, and everybody is so afraid, and that Navik who is controlling that boat is saying, now boat is out of my control. He's raised his hand and he's saying, now you pray to your Ishtadev, you pray to them. There's no other option. I cannot do anything now. And everyone, oh please save us, this, that, and crying. So ladies, they are crying, kids, they are crying, and people trying to pass that hole by their hands, this and that, but nothing is working. And the sadhu, just a smile in his face, is smiling and taking water from the Kaveri river and saying Jai Sri Ram and pouring in the boat, taking water from the Kaveri river, saying Jai Sri Ram and pouring in the boat, taking water from in his kamandalo. And people looking at him and looking at the boat. It's already water coming from down and it's drowning, and he's just taking water from the Kaveri and saying Jai Sri Ram and putting in the boat. It's gone crazy or what? and nobody want to dissatisfy sadhu, maybe he'll curse. Already we are dying, and he'll say, all of you drown in the river. What's going to happen next? Already we are drowning. So they don't want to dissatisfy him. So everybody is staring at him and trying their best to patch up the holes, and somebody trying to control the boat. Somebody is inspiring that master of the boat to work hard so he can take boat under his control. And everybody is staring at him thinking he's gone crazy. Out of fear that he's going to die, he just lost his mind. And he don't care. He's not even looking for anything. He's taking water from there, saying Jai Sri Ram and putting in the boat. And somehow or other, they were able to control the boat, and this Navik who was controlling that boat, he told, okay, boat is under our control. Looks like we'll race to that bank. Oh, okay, everyone happy. But this sadhu, there's no change of expression in his face. He was smiling when it was drowning, and he's still smiling in the same way. Now he's taking water from the boat and saying Jai Sri Ram and putting back in the Kaveri. He's taking water from there, saying Jai Sri Ram and putting back in the Kaveri. Now people thinking, now already boat is in our control. We should ask him, he's gone crazy. So they're asking, when boat was drowning, you're helping boat to drown, taking water from there and putting here. And now you're again throwing it back. What's going on with you? You've gone crazy or what? Saying, my guru told that whatever the desire of Sri Ramachandra is, whatever Ramachandra wants should be your also desire. Whatever Ramachandra desires, whatever Bhagavan desires should be your desire. You should act as per Bhagavan Ramachandra's will. So when this Navik, he told the boat is going to drown, I thought maybe my Lord Sri Ram wants this boat to drown, so I was helping him, putting more water. And now this guy is telling that boat is under control. So I thought, oh, I was mistaken. It was my mistake. Actually, Bhagavan don't want this boat to drown. I'm throwing water out. So that basically should be the mood. Whatever Bhagavan wants, that's our desire. Whatever he says is our desire. It's not that we have some independent desire, although the desire may be of mukti. So whatever he wants is my also desire. So that's how this story for first few times I heard, I was just feeling like some jokes, Later I started contemplating on that. Actually, in reality, that should be our mood. He did as per his understanding, but his understanding was maybe Bhagavan Ramchandra wants this boat to drown, so he was just helping Bhagavan, Bhagavan Ramchandra, okay, let it drown. He was putting water. And even on that time, there was no fear in his face. He was happy that he is helping Bhagavan. Although he is sitting on the same boat. If that boat will drown, he will die. But he didn't have any fear of death. He was happy that he is helping Ramchandra. He is just putting water on that. And when he knew that actually a boat is not drowning, he was throwing water out. And even that time, he was not his mood didn't change, Still he's smiling, saying Jai Sri Ram and throwing water out. So the person who is always in service to Lord, although they are born in this material world, they are always happy. It doesn't affect them. The worldly affairs doesn't have any effect on them. They're happy anyway. They're always happy. So it says that Kapil Dev, he says in Bhagavatam 3rd canto that those who have that desire to be mumukshu, those who are seeking for the mukti, those who are seeking for that liberation, they still are under, although they are the best category of human beings we can find in this material world, those who are doing devotion in sattvic level, in mood of goodness, but they are incomplete. It says, Mad guna sruti matrena mahi sharva guhashahe manogatira vichinnaha yatha gangam vasom budhahu. Saying that the person who only have desire to listen the Hari Katha and to chant the name of Sri Krishna, the names of Sri Krishna, those people, those who have Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Yudaritam, the person who have only two desires in this world, to listen Harikatha and to chant Harinama. They are Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya. That is Lakshana, means that indicates he is in level of Nirgunasya Yudaritam. He is the person who have Nirgunatmika Bhakti, means beyond the modes of material nature. That person have that devotion in his heart which is beyond the modes of material nature. That only a person who have only two desires in this world, to chant more and more and more and more Harinam, and to listen more and more and more and more Harikatha. That's only the desire they have. So that's Nirgunatmika Bhakti. So here it seems, although they have some desires, but that desires is not for their satisfaction. It's they are enjoying Harikatha, thinking how great my Lord is, my Swami is, my Master is. That, once I was asking Srimad Gaur Krishna Goswami Maharaj that what is the relation of this, showing this all planetary system in Srimad Bhagavata, because Srimad Bhagavata supposed to be the Gatha, should be the Katha, should be without any pills and any seeds in that, should be only nectar. But listening that second canto, third canto, fifth canto feels like there are some pills and some seeds in that, because there's nothing to do with Krishna Katha. There's no Krishna Katha, it's just explaining about this planet moves around that planet, this distance is this much, that distance is that much, or baby gets this size when he is in first week, then gets that size when he is 6 weeks. So selfless, I cannot see any Krishna Katha in that. I mean, what is it to do with how, what size baby gets when he is 1 week and what size he gets when he is 4 months? What we have to do with Krishna Katha, or maybe like what to do with this Ilabrat Varsha, Bharat Varsha, this Varsha, that Varsha, and different Dweep, Jammu Dweep, Salmali Dweep, this, that Dweep. So how is it? How is it nectar of Krishna Katha? And Gaur Krishna Maharaj was saying, it depends on how you see the things. So that's the greatness of Krishna, that even though in the land of Kinnara, those who are not even a Nara, those who are not even a human, there also Krishna is being worshipped in different forms. Only animals resides in some places. There also Krishna is being worshipped in the form of lion, and somewhere only birds are residing, and there also Krishna is being worshipped as a Garuda. So it's how you see the things. Oh, okay, makes sense to me also. Actually, all the so complex creation, after we study that fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it feels so complex things, it's so complex. First thing, there's no slok at all. Everything looks like some novel we are reading, and it's so complex. I mean, other place we can read like slok, so we can enjoy even reading that slok. And there we have like few lines, a single word. We cannot even figure out what it's saying. Like there are already few lines, and it's a single word. We should read that, So I was saying, it's first thing is it's so difficult to read, and next thing is so difficult to understand. And even after understanding that, so complex things written there, how does it even make sense? And Gaur Krishna Maharaj was telling, see, that thing, what you say, it's so complex. It's just the Sankalpa, just by Brahma thought about making these things, and everything manifested. And how that Brahma came? He came from a lotus which grew from Navi of Bhagavan Vishnu. That lotus itself is already Jada Buddhi, without intelligence, because what that lotus flower can have intelligence in itself, A person born from a lotus which don't have any intelligence in itself, Brahma, So what he created is so complex for us. Because Brahma, he was born from Jada Buddhi, means most unintelligent thing in the world. He was born from the lotus flower. So, just because it was connected with Bhagavan Vishnu, the Brahma, although born from the Jada Buddhi, in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, when Brahma wanted to test Bhagavan Krishna, that time Shukadev is saying that Jadabuddhi Brahma, he proved that he was born from the most unintelligent thing in the world, from the lotus. I mean, if he was born from some human being or something, then he could have some intelligence. He was born from that lotus, so he proved that he is most unintelligent person in the world, in the creation. And Shukadev is saying that he is most unintelligent person in the universe because he is trying to test the Krishna, and that most unintelligent person's creation is so complex for us, we understand nothing. And he was saying that's the Mahatmya, that's the glories of Krishna, trying that fifth canto, trying to establish. So I was thinking, okay, it is because how the creation and everything is there is far out. We cannot even figure it out. So here Kapil Dev is saying, in such a complex creation and full of all these complex things going on, in front of all these things, we are just a manda buddhi. We don't have intelligence even to understand this much of things where we are staying. And we are residing inside this body. And till now we cannot figure out how things functions inside, We think that everything is happening because of us, but nothing is happening because of us. This body, if we breathe by our desire, then when we sleep, we might die because we forget to breathe. If this heart was functioning as per our desire, then we sleep, we forget, that heart forgets to beat, and we might die, because nothing is pumping blood already. Actually, when we sleep, body functions more than when we are awake. So, things, even the body which we are residing inside, we are not able to understand even about this body. So in this scenario, a person trying to know so many things and gathering information about everything, saying Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Shanti Yoga, this yoga, that yoga, going through everything and collecting everything, they get nothing. Kapil Dev says, a person who have that desire to listen Harikatha and to chant Harinam is the perfect person in the world. He will attend everything he need to attend. But a person who is trying to know everything by his own effort will get nothing, because we cannot even figure it about our body itself, how nails are growing, how hairs is growing. We're cutting it every time, and somebody in the world wants fancy hair. They don't have hair, and for me, I have to shave it every day. Sometimes I feel maybe this much of a hair, it would have gone, it would be nice for me. I don't have to put effort to shave every day. See how things going on, and somebody wants to have good hair, they planting hair. I didn't knew this few months back. I saw big advertisement. It says planting hair. I was thinking it is some corn or paddy that you plant on your head. I mean, planting hair. And I'm having problem with shaving every day. It's like planting corn, planting paddy. As a big billboard. In Nepal, I saw that. They have big billboard which says you plant here. Wow. So, things, so those who are completely surrendered and just engaged in these two services they can do is hearing his glories and chanting his names. So that's the highest platform of any devotional service. He says, ahitukya vyavahitaya bhakti purushottamahe And this ahitukya, this devotion without any desire, just a desire to hear his harikatha and chant his name, is far more, it says, thousands and thousands of times better than shalokya, sharshti, sharupya, samipya kattu pyutah, diyamanam na grihanti vina matsevanam janaha. He says, that's one and only desire to serve Krishna by chanting his name and by hearing his harikatha is thousands and thousands times better than getting shalokyam, means attending even his abode is thousand times better than that. And says sashti, sharupya, all these different types of mukti, different types of liberation. So the devotee who is in nirgunatmika bhakti, who is doing devotional service, who is rendering devotional service beyond the modes of material nature, he is not after shalokya, sarshti, sharupya, samipyadi, and this liberation even. They don't have desire to be near to Krishna, they don't have desire to have form like Bhagavan Narayan with Chaturbahu Swarup, they don't have desire to enjoy that Aishwarya in Vaikuntha Dham. They don't even have desire for Samipya, means they don't even desire to be nearby Krishna. They just think that whatever you want for me, whatever you have planned for me, that's good for me always. So whatever you plan, that's good. I'm happy with that. So Sriman Mahaprabhu, he says, Mumukshu jagate aneka sangsarika janaha. In this world, people are so much after liberation, people are so much after mukti. I want mukti, I want to get Vaikuntha, I want to get this, I want to get that. This actually is quite connected with Mama Janmani Janmani Sware Bhavatad Bhakti Ahitukitoi. Actually, we left on that slok, I think, previous time I came. We were discussing on Shikshashtakam, we ended up here. It's actually quite related with that. Because Sriman Mahaprabhu, he himself prays that Mama Janmani Janmani Sware Bhavatad Bhakti Ahitukitoi. Although he is Krishna himself, and he says, for me, oh Krishna, you gave me birth after birth, I'm happy with that. Only the thing I have desire is Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahitukitoi. I just want devotion on your lotus feet. I just want that love on your lotus feet, so that I'm always engaged in your service. You are always my master, and I'm always your servant. So Sriman Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he says that Mumukshu jagate aneka sansarika jana mukti lagi bhakti kare Krishna ra bhajana. People are so much after attending Vaikuntha or getting mukti, sharupya mukti, having forms like Bhagavan Vishnu with 4 hands and Shankha, Chakra, everything. And some wants Nirvana Mukti, it's Brahma Sayujya, and somebody wants Salokya, somebody wants Samipya, they always want to be near to Krishna. It says Mukti Lagi, Bhakti Kare Krishna Ra Bhajana. And they do bhajan. It's not like that they want that and they do something else. Even though they have desire to have different type of mukti, only the option is Kare Krishna Ra Bhajana. Option is only Krishna Bhajan. Just chant his names. Surrender to Krishna Nam. Sei sabe sadhu sange guna ishuraya Krishna bhajana karaya mumuksha chadaya. And the benefit of surrendering to Krishna Nam is, by the mercy of Sri Krishna Nam, we get sangha of sadhu, the real sadhu, those who are doing bhajan, nirgunatmika bhajan. So, and by the association of those nirgunatmika sadhujan, and by the association of Srinam Prabhu, what happens is Krishna bhajana karaya mumuksha chadaya. Slowly that desire to get Sharupya, Shalokya, etc., those mukti starts vanishing from our heart. That maybe I think I don't need that Sayujya Mukti, Brahma Sayujya. Maybe I think I don't need to be like Bhagavan Vishnu, be Chaturbahu Swarup. I don't think I need to be near to him or be with him in his lok. Slowly all those desires starts vanishing from the heart. Naradera sange shaunakadi munigana mumutsaya chadiya kaile Krishna ra bhajana. this Narad Muni and Fokumara, this Tsar Kumara, initially they had desire for mumukshu. They wanted to get mukti, don't want to do anything, just get mukti. And when they heard from Brahma that Brahma is remembering Bhagavan Vishnu, is doing bhajan of Bhagavan Vishnu, they thought, why shouldn't we try that one? Initial desire was to get mukti by doing Ismarana of Bhagavan Vishnu. And they started doing Ismarana of Bhagavan Vishnu. The first expansion of Bhagavan Vishnu, Shankarshan came and gave them association, and by their association, by the association of Shankarshan and by the mercy of Srinam Prabhu, they stopped having any desire to get liberated. And when they don't have any desire now even for mukti, they are permanently residing with Shankarshan. They have easy access to everywhere, they can go anywhere. They have easy access for everywhere. So here, Sriman Mahaprabhu says, Naradara Sange, and Narad, being in the association of Narad, all these Mahapurush, they left their desire to be mumukshu. They are still going around in this universe. They don't want to get liberated. If they ask with Bhagavan, oh, we need mukti, Bhagavan would just give them like that. But they don't want. They are just still. Narad Muni is still going here and there inside this universe. So he is not really after mukti. He don't even think about that. He is happy chanting Narayan, 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 going around preaching the glories of holy name. Actually, real preacher of glories of holy name. And the first, most probably the first preacher who preached about the glories of holy name in this universe. Because he gave holy name to, he gave Sri Krishna Nam to Prahlad, he gave Sri Krishna Nam to Dhruva, and many other such devotees. So here Sriman Mahaprabhu says, those who are in the line of getting mumukshu, those who want to be mumukshu, by the association of Srinam Prabhu, by chanting Srinam, by chanting the names of Sri Krishna, they slowly start that desire to enjoy the mukti, because to get mukti is also the desire to enjoy that. The desire to enjoy anything in this material world or even in a spiritual world, because mukti is, if we get Salokya or Sharupya, then we're going to get Vaikuntha. We already are in a spiritual world. But although that is a sort of desire to enjoy, so the desire to enjoy slowly starts vanishing, and because even though it's a desire to get mukti, it's a Prabhu kahe Vaishnavara dihap, it's like we have desire to enjoy there, go there and get rid from all sufferings. So now the question comes, then what? Every time a Vaishnava, those who are Vaishnava, those who are devotees of Krishna, they should come every time here and suffer and get all the sufferings. Is that what bhakti means? That come every time in this material world and get few slap from teacher when we were kid, get sometimes beaten by mother, maybe just get sometimes pull your ear by father, and after that get married and get kids every time. So being a devotee, being a nirgunatmika bhakti means every time just born here and go through all this, whatever not we supposed to go through. Sriman Mahaprabhu says, he is pure devotee, nirgunatmaka bhakta. He is pure devotee. So every time they should come here and they should go through this birth, disease, old age, death, through this cycle of birth and death, and they should suffer every time this birth and death. So Sriman Mahaprabhu, after that, Sri Sanatana Shiksha, he was giving this to Sanatana Goswami. He says, Prabhu kahe Vaishnavera diha prakrita kavu nahi. A body of Vaishnava is not prakrit, it's not material. We should understand that although it seems to be material, they are always out of this material platform. So that means their body is not in material level. The Vaishnav, although it seems they are in material platform because this body is made out of Pancha Mahabhut, Sriman Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe Vaishnavera diha prakrit kabu nahi. This body of a Vaishnava cannot be considered as a body of ordinary human being. Aprakrita diha bhaktira chidanandamaya. Although that body is made out of Pancha Mahabhut, still that is chidanandamaya, that's aprakrit. And this material sufferings doesn't touch them. It doesn't make any difference to them. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpana, sei kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. When during the initiation, when we put fire and putting fire and doing taking bhav to be saranagata, atma samarpana, to surrender to Krishna, that to surrender to Krishna and Guru, from that very time, sei kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. From that very time, a body of Vaishnava who is practicing Nirgunatmika Bhakti is, the body is Atma Samaha. Means now it's Chidanandamay, like the soul. So this Jiva inside here is not Prakrit. It's not under the modes of material nature. It's because it's in conditioned nature, so it seems it's under the modes of material nature, but the jiva inside here is actually conditioned by the mind, body, ego, everything else. This soul in itself is always chidanandamay. Similarly, a person who takes shelter of Krishna and Guru and takes vow to do Krishna bhajan and listen Krishna katha, from that very day his body becomes Atma Samaha. It's like the soul, Chidanandamay. Shei dihatara kare Chidanandamay aprakrita dihatara charana bhajay. That body itself is now qualified enough to travel to Vaikuntha itself in this very body, like Narad Muni. Narad Muni have body. People can see that. Those who are qualified, they can see Hanuman, they can see Narad Muni, they can see Ashwatthama, different, these great devotees. But within that body, they are traveling to Vaikuntha. They are just going and seeing Krishna. So, here Sriman Mahaprabhu says, those who are fully surrendered and doing Nirgunatmika Bhakti, the selfless devotion, although being in this same body, this body is Atma Samat Chidanandamaya. This body is already Chidanandamaya. And by this very body, people can go and see the Krishna. We can travel to any planets by this body itself. And examples, we can see Dhruv Maharaj. Example, we can see Prahlad Maharaj, even Yudhishthira. Yamaraj came and prayed to him, please leave your body. He just got on the plane in same body, you know. He didn't left his body. Prahlad Maharaj came and please leave your body here. And Prahlad Maharaj put feet on his Yamaraj's head and just jumped on the plane. So, the person who does Nirgunatmika Bhakti, this body itself is transcendent. And they can travel with this same body to other planets and they can attend Vaikuntha even. So Sriman Mahaprabhu says this, that a person who surrenders completely and does Nirgunatmika Bhakti, although it seems they are in material body, it is not. That material platform won't have any effect on them. So, and next thing, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains about this. To say that this body is already not in material platform also means that we get body out of prarabdha karma. No? Everybody gets body based on their previous actions, previous deeds. Whatever body we are getting now is outcome of our prarabdha karma. No? Whatever body we have, it is because we had certain actions, and that fruit of those actions is this body. So who surrenders completely to Krishna, he doesn't have any prarabdha. That means this body is already aprakrit. Because there is no any prarabdha karma left to give you certain body. No? Does that make sense? That when we don't have any prarabdha karma to give any body, then whatever body we are getting, it's solely the mercy of Krishna, and by the mercy of Krishna we never get anything material. Whatever is there comes in relation with Guru, and Krishna is not material already. It's beyond material, beyond matter already. So, aprakrita diha means, although it's Pancha Mahabhut, but being a Pancha Mahabhut also, if it's not manifestation of any prakrita, any prarabdha karma, then it's aprakrita. If anything we are getting as a fruit to our karma, fruit to our prarabdha, that is prakrit. And anything we are getting by the mercy of Krishna and by the mercy of Guru, that is not material. That is already aprakrita. So our body also becomes, body gets transcendence, body gets divine, body is now beyond the matter. Once we completely surrender to Krishna, because somebody who completely surrendered to Krishna with nirgunatmika bhakti, the bhakti without any desire, then his prarabdha karma just finished there. Now there is no more prarabdha, and Krishna himself promised for that. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyami ma shucha. That aham tvam sarva papebhyo doesn't mean only sinful activities. It means all activities, everything. So, who surrenders completely and only have a desire to chant his names and a desire to listen his Harikatha, there is no more prarabdha. And where there is no prarabdha, that means this body is now no more outcome of our prarabdha karma. So, whatever we get is because of two things. One is by the mercy, next is by our fruitive activities, by our karma. So if we don't have karma, means whatever remaining is mercy of Krishna. So that means body is no more material. And that's what Sriman Mahaprabhu is teaching to Sanatana Goswami, that now your body is no more material. You are no more a person with prarabdha karma. So here Sriman Mahaprabhu says, aprakrita dihitar charana bhajai. Those who are chanting the name of Krishna, their body is already aprakrita. But for that there is terms and conditions. We have noticed that when we open account in the bank, or when we do insurance, even though when we open some account in social media, everything is written in so big and bold letter. And this small, we cannot already see that small asterisk there, and it says terms and conditions applies. We cannot see that, We need to put glass, magnify it, and then check what are terms and conditions. So here is also terms and conditions. This body itself can be lifted from the material platform to spiritual platform, but by the mercy of Srinam Prabhu, by the bhajan, but these terms and conditions applied, that bhajan should be nirgunatmik, that bhajan should be ahaitukya apratihata. There should be no desire except to surrender to Sri Krishna Nam. So this body itself can be uplifted to the spiritual platform. So the devotees, those who are in nirgunatmika bhakti, although they get birth, they are getting death, they are getting all types of different types of problems in this world. From our perspective, we can see that, but for them, nothing is touching them. Nothing is creating any problem to them. They're just happy. They're Atma Rama Shukhina. They're happy in themselves because they are always they feels always they are together with Bhagavan himself, or they always are together, because they are, as we say, Avinnotam Nama Namini, there is no difference between Nama and Nami Prabhu. That means who is always Kirtaniya Sadahari, who is in the platform of always doing bhajan of Sri Krishna Nam. He is never separated from Sri Krishna. And this Nirgunatmika Bhakti, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, what actually, like those who have that karma bandhan, those who have that karma bandhan, those who are trying themselves with those fruitive activities, their body is outcome of their karma. But for the devotee, what they pray, says in Sri Vishnu Puran, Sri Prahlad Maharaj, he prays saying, Janma sahasreshu eshu bhavamiham teshu yuta bhaktir achyudasti sadattvai. What Prahlad Maharaj is praying, saying, Janma sahasreshu eshu. You gave me thousands and thousands and thousands of birth after birth. You keep me sending here. Yeshu bhavamiham, in this material world. I'm not worried about that. Teshu teso yuta bhaktir achyutasti sadatoi. But only I have one condition. That what I need is teshu, each and every birth you are giving to me, bhaktir achyuta. I always have that devotion to the lotus feet of Sri Achyut, Sri Bhagavan. Sadatoi, always bless me with devotion on your lotus feet. He is praying to Narasimhadev, because Narasimhadev asking him, why don't you ask mukti? You ask for mukti? Saying, oh, I don't need that. If you want, you can send me janma sahasreshu eshu. For thousands of years, you can keep sending me. Yeah, thousands of lifetimes, you can keep sending me in this material world. I'm not much worried about that. I don't want mukti. But what I want is, although I have to take birth after birth, I want only a thing is, yuta bhaktir achyutastihi sadatoi. Always that devotion to the lotus feet of Achyut, that devotion, even a second, even a fraction of second, I'm not deviated from devotion to your lotus feet. I'm just fixed on that. So if I get that, you keep giving me birth after birth. I'm not after mukti. That's what Prahlad Maharaj asks, and Sri Vidyapati Thakur in Padakalpataru, he also asks something similar, saying, Kiye manusha pashu paki bhai janamiye athva kita patanga karama vipake gatagati punah punah mati rahutu ye parasanga. Vidyapati Thakur, he says, O Lord, kiya manusha pashu paki bhai janamiye athva kita patanga. Whatever you want to make me, just make it. Whether you make manusha, whether you make human being, or I become pashu, means animals, and plants, or maybe kita patanga, any insects, anything. Whatever you want, you just make me that. I'm not worried, but karama vipake gatagati punah punah mati rahu tuya parasanga. My mati, my mind, and my intelligence always be with you, oh Krishna. Remaining things, whatever you want, you can make me. You can make me tree, you can make me insect, you can make me some animals, or whatever you want to make. Just make me that. I don't have problem with that. But make sure that my mati, my mind is fixed on your lotus feet. That's all I want. That is only the desire I have. So, Sriman Mahaprabhu, he blessed to Sri Vidyapati, saying that birth after birth, you may have that devotion to my lotus feet. So, Sriman Mahaprabhu didn't tell, oh, don't joke with me, I'm going to take you back with me. Sriman Mahaprabhu says, okay, birth after birth you will get devotion in my lotus feet. So, here, Krishna, he himself is not saying, don't joke with me, you are so great devotee, I'm taking back you with me. No, he's saying, yes, I'll make sure that you will get that unflinching devotion birth after birth. So sometimes I just think, everyone is in pure devotion, and all our acharyas, everyone, they just left, and maybe how the world going to function for next 5,000, 10,000, maybe 15,000 years. And then after reading these things, you just get, good, somebody will come for sure. Somebody will be there always with whom we can associate, because we say everybody just went, everybody is back with Krishna there. But after reading these incidents, then I feel, wow, Sriman Mahaprabhu is saying that to Sri Vidyapati, that you will attend that devotion life after life, birth after birth. So maybe somewhere there, the day we get qualified enough, we will start getting association of such Mahabhagavat. Those who came just because Krishna wanted them to be here and give association, be merciful towards the fallen souls like us. So they are all around. Just we need to be qualified enough to see them and to get their association. Because to get their association also, Krishna should see that now he is qualified. He has that yogyata, patrata. Now we can send him there. Okay. Send him there. So he get that kripa of a Mahapurush and start having that taste for Srinam and start having desire for Nirgunatmika Bhakti. And so in Srimad Bhagavatam, in first canto, second chapter itself, Shaunakadi, to the Shaunakadi, Sri Shutaji is saying, Shavai Pumsham Paro Dharmo Yeto Bhaktir Adokchaje Ahitukya Apratihata Yatmashu Prasiddhatihi. That's the highest platform of Dharma. What is that? Savai Pumshaparo Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokchaje. To have bhakti, to have devotion towards Adokchaje, to Sri Krishna. And what type of bhakti? It says, Ahitukya Apratihata Yatmashu Prasiddhatihi. Ahituki. Without any desire, Apratihata. Don't even think about anything else except bhakti on the lotus feet of Adokchas Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Yatma Shuprasidati. And that thing, the devotion without any desire and without any doubts, just only one-sided, just looking only on that direction, except to please Krishna, except to chant his names, except to listen his katha. I have no other desires, no other work to do, nothing. So that devotion towards him is Yatma Shuprasadati. That's the thing which is giving all type of Samyak Prasannata Suprasidati. Means the greatest happiness in the world is to be selfless and serve Krishna without any hetu. So Ahituki, in Ahituki, this Ahituki word, Sripad Sridharacharya, he writes, Sridhar Swamipad, he writes, Hetu Phalabhisandhanam Tadrahitaha. Means Ahituki, that word means Hetu Phalabhisandhanam Tadrahitaha, means without any desire to get a fruit, or without any desire to think about a fruit. Like sometimes we may not have desire for fruit, but we may contemplate on the what could be the fruit. Like, okay, I don't want that result, but like this result going to come. We are contemplating on that result. We are not after its fruit, but we are contemplating on that. We plant a tree. Okay, we plant a chandan tree, sandalwood tree. Now it's going to give fruit after 60, 70 days, 70 years. Because to get that, to get real essence of sandalwood, we have to wait for at least 70 years. and a person in a 50 years is planting a sandalwood tree, even though he desire for the fruit, he won't be able to. Even we desire to get the essence of that sandalwood tree, we won't be able to get that. We have to live for 120 years to get that. So, person may not be after the fruit, but sometimes they keep contemplating about the fruits. Oh, now after 70 years, I'm going to get the essence of this. And it will be so good, smell around, and all jungle going to, all the city, all the jungles and village going to get that benefit. Yeah, I didn't need that, but whole village gets. Means we are contemplating on the fruit. So it says ahituki means not even contemplating on the fruit. It's not only having desire. I don't have desire for the fruit. That's one thing. And next thing is we don't even contemplate on the fruit, what fruit we are going to get. So Sridhar Goswami Pad, he says here that hetu phalabhisandhanam tadrahita, not even thinking about the fruit, not even contemplating about the fruit. We did something and we didn't even think about it's going to give back something. Sometimes we don't want it, but still we contemplate about it. Like we did something good for our kids, then it's for our kids. Fruit they are going to get. We are not going to get. So in that sense, that should be ahituki. But Goswami Pad here, he says, it's not ahituki because we are contemplating about the fruit. We think about the fruit. We think that's going to give a fruit, or we think that it's not going to be fruitified. That means we are contemplating on its result. So ahituki means not even thinking about result, not putting any attention on the result. So not having desire on the result, not having desire to enjoy the fruit, not having desire to enjoy the result is one thing, and not even thinking about that is next thing. So ahituki means not even thinking about the result, not even thinking or not even having any idea about the result. So that should be, that is the ahituki. And Sri Jiva Goswami, he says, tasya bhakti swarupaha gunamaha swat eva sukha rupatva ahituki phalantaranusandhana rahitaha. Means Shuddha Bhakti in its swarup, in its form, it's beyond the gun and visheshan. Gun means nature and visheshan means visheshta. It's how we say visheshan. It's quite difficult to translate few words in the English. Guna means exact qualities, but visheshan means the qualities which support the primary objects. The primary objects itself have certain qualities, and there are some qualities which are added when something supports it. How we say that in English? So it says, not even thinking about the, like, okay, if we get this fruit, I plant the apple, then I plant the apple tree, and then we get fruit, and from that apple fruit we can make juice, we can make wine, we can maybe use for some medicinal purpose, this, that. So you know what I'm trying to say is that fruit is going to have this benefit, that fruit, after we get that, then there is this quality, that qualities, this qualities will be manifested. We are not after enjoying that, but we are contemplating about its different qualities of that fruit. So Sri Jiva Goswami Pad, he says that contemplating about these different qualities of any action we did, like sometimes, okay, he did this job, and just contemplating about he did this, now he's going to get that, although we are not enjoying that. Any action done by somebody else, that fruit we are not enjoying, but now it's going to be this, and then he's going to that, by the help of that he is achieving this. We are contemplating on that. So ahituki means not even thinking about those things. Forget about enjoying those things. Not even thinking about that. Not even having any idea on that. Not giving any comments on that. You did your action, finished. Now you are no more even thinking about what you did just now. Like sometimes what happens, oh, yesterday was Ekadashi, so I did 64 mala, and maybe I did 3 lakhs nam. I was chanting for next 16 hours, 18 hours, and for next few weeks we keep contemplating about that. Oh, I did like this that day. Even it's devotional service. That's the highest we can do. Oh, I did like that day. Oh, I did this that day. It was so difficult to do. Oh, I did that. It was 16 hours. I didn't even sleep. No, we keep thinking about that. Keep contemplating about that. You did it, you did it. Now forget it and do today what you have to do. Today also you do 3 lakhs name, good. Tomorrow also you do. Day after tomorrow also you do. But you don't contemplate or you don't think what you did in the past. Although it's devotional service and devotional activities. So you did it. Now you are only focused on what you should do. What you are doing now. You just think about that only. So Sri Jiva Goswami says, Ahituki means not even thinking about what we did and it's positive, negative, nothing we thinking about that. We just did it, we did it, finished. Now we are just thinking on how we can please Krishna more. How we please Krishna before, that's not in the mind. It's like how we can do more for Krishna, how we can do more for Krishna. How we can be pleasing to Krishna. So, ahituki means only thinking about the action, what needed to be done, not that what we did before. It's good to learn from the things we did before, mistakes we did before, but those things happen up to the time, up to the platform when we are in Gunatmik Bhakti, where we are in Tamas, Rajas or Sattvic, because when we are in Nirgunatmik, then there is nothing called good, nothing called bad for us. Because good, bad, everything is determined by this modes of material nature. When we are already in the platform of Nirgunatmik, then based on what we are going to decide, it's good or it's bad. Whatever is in favor of devotional service is good, whatever is not in the favor, it's bad. Sometimes I was reading somewhere that somebody bought this cream in the kitchen, and they asked Prabhupada should use this cream or not for making bhoga to Krishna, and Prabhupada just dipped his finger, tested it, told it's yogurt. And I told, no, it's cream. He again, same finger, he just dipped it and no, it's yogurt. You can use it. It's already 2 times he did that. It's now supposed to be not good to offer to Krishna. First thing, you're not supposed to taste anything inside kitchen, and next thing you're tasting from the vessels which belongs to Krishna in the kitchen, and on top of that you already tasted twice. So, if we see through perspective of modes of material nature, that's wrong, we shouldn't do that. But the person who did that was beyond that modes of material nature. He was already in Nirgunatmika Bhakti. So there is nothing to determine it's good or bad. It's only the mood there was whether it is good to offer to Krishna or not. Is it usable in the service of Krishna or not? That was the point there. So, right and wrong, it comes up to Sattvic Bhakti. When its devotion is already in Nirgunatmik Istar, then there's nothing called good and bad. Obviously, it's bad to walk naked around, but Rishabdev, he was walking naked around. I mean, it's not good to be just naked and go around. But he was beyond this material body. First thing, he is Krishna himself. And next thing, even the Paramhamsa Marga he was showing to us. He was teaching that Paramhamsa Marga. So that Marga is now nothing good, nothing bad. Everything is in service of Krishna. So there is nothing called good or bad. So, yes, Sri Jiva Goswami says, Nirgunatmika Bhakti, in that level, we cannot determine what is good, what is bad, based on modes of material nature. It doesn't make sense in that level already. So those whose actions are beyond material nature, although they being in this body itself, they are above all this. Good, bad, right, wrong, does, pros and cons, what we should do, what we should not do, nothing toss them. Because already birth and death is not causing any problem, any trouble to them, then how these restrictions made based on modes of material nature can restrict them. So that is in different platforms. So sometimes we can see Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami in different places they say that a Vaishnava don't need to offer obligation towards their ancestors or should not go through, they don't need to go through all these samskara. We can see those things, especially in Sat Sandarbha, Hari Bhakti Vilas, here and there. We can see so many quotes which says those who are Vaishnav, they don't need to go through any of these samskara. They don't need to go through any of these rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti. They don't need to go through all these rituals of offering obligations to ancestors, going paying homage because they have Pitri Rin, Rishi Rin, all these things. They don't have to go through all these things. So all these whatever systems and Vedic injunctions are there. All these rules and regulations for Vaidhi Bhakti are there. All these things are applied till the person is in Sattvika Bhakti level. But the person who is in Nirgunatmik Bhakti, for them all these things, they don't need that. Now, it doesn't, all these things doesn't have effect on them. It's not that willingly they are leaving all these things. It's that all this karma is leaving them. And sometimes we misunderstand with, we don't need it. We don't need it means it's for those Vaishnava, those who are really Vaishnava, in platform of Nirgunatmika Bhakti. Are we in that Ragatmika Bhakti level so that we don't need anything? We are practicing Vaidhi Bhakti. We are trying our best to meet that standard. For them, they don't need to sleep, they don't need to eat, they don't need anything in this world. So they are already out of this body. So anything, neither Vaidhi Bhakti affects them nor any rituals have control over them. But till the time we are not in that Nirgunatmika level, everything stops us. And we knowingly that we are going to leave all these Vedic rituals and injunctions and those rules, if we are leaving all those things, then that's creating a prarabdha and binding us back to maybe we uplifted ourselves up to Rajasic, or maybe we just reaching near to Sattvic Bhakti, but since we are not following these rules and regulations, it's dragging us down. So till the time we don't reach up to that Ragatmik, up to that Gunatmik, beyond the Nirgunatmik level, all these things matters, and we should try our best to follow all these things. But the time when by the mercy of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, by his mercy, by the mercy of his name and by the mercy of such Nirgunatmik sadhujan, when we attend that platform, then we don't need to leave all these rules and regulations. They will leave us. Now we are no more use for him. So Nirgunatmik Bhakti says Savai Pumsham Paro Dharma Yeto Bhakti Adokchaje Ahitukya Pratihata Yatma Suprasiddhati. The person who reach to the level of that Nirgunatmik Bhakti, he is situated in Paradharma, and just by seeing him, just by taking darshan of such Nirgunatmik Bhakta, a person gets liberated from Gunatmik Bhakti. You will immediately, the person starts getting desire to uplift himself to the level of Nirgunatmik Bhakti. So that's basically the difference between Bhakti doing under the modes of material nature and Bhakti beyond modes of material nature, and that's the highest platform we can achieve. And that's actually the goal of every Gaudiya Vaishnava. Those who are trying to follow Sriman Mahaprabhu. That's the goal of every devotee who are trying to follow Sriman Mahaprabhu, to have that Nirgunatmika Bhakti. That if Sriman Mahaprabhu, if Srimati Radharani, if Bhagavan Sri Krishna Radha Prana Vallabha, Sri Krishna wants us to be Manjari serving him, serving Srimati Radharani, that's, we are happy with that. And if Radha Vallabha, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Govinda Dev wants us to be in this material world and go around, we are happy with that. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, have any question? Okay.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
Is that high state that you talk about, is that the same as enlightenment in other traditions?
That enlightenment in other tradition is Brahmacari. That's Brahmacari Mukti.
That's something different.
Yeah, that's different. Because that enlightenment is for attaining liberation and attaining that light. It's called Brahmacari. So that's different. This highest platform we are talking about have nothing to do with liberation. It's only about his desires for us. What he wants from us. That's only the thing we are talking about. What enlightenment means, we have desire for mukti. So that's basically Brahmacari. Hare Krishna.